Well, friends, we are here again. This is Dan P.D. Thomas. Welcome to the Sacred CEO Experience. I am with my partner in success, the incomparable.
Hello and empowered greetings. This is Karen, Coach KG Gilliam.
We are so glad for you to be here today. We're going to jump right in, but before we do, we need you to do us a favor and share the video. Love the video first. Love it. Just drag your little finger, from the like to the love. Just drag it over just a little bit and love the video. And then share the video. It will go across your entire timeline as far as your organic reach will go. And we appreciate you for that. Today, we're talking about the subject, another day, another dollar. What? That's nonsense. That's nonsense. Another day, another dollar. I want to do something that I saw Trevor Noah do, Coach. And he said, who said that the weekend was 2 days? Who decided
Here
that?
you go. Okay.
Who decided that the weekend was 2 days? Why can't it be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and we just work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? What the fact that question came into my mind, came into Trevor Noah's mind, means that I can change my life to anything I want. I can work 3 days and rest 3 days. They talk about the 4-hour work week. That's a book. I can change it anytime I want. But what seems to be predominant is another day, another dollar. And so this is what we say to that. We say, what? No, that's nonsense. That's nonsense. It's about what you want. And as a matter of fact, let's look at where did that come from?
Yeah.
We have these idioms, we have these euphemisms, we have these colloquialisms in our society that are passed from generation to generation, but we never know the origin of it.
Right.
So it's like cutting the back of the ham off, right? That you talk about all the time. And then the pan just wasn't big enough. So where does that come from? So let's do a little research before we get into this. The phrase "another day, another dollar" actually comes from the building of the Panama Canal, where workers were rumored to receive a single dollar as a single dollar a day as compensation for their labor. And actually, when you think about it, the song was recorded on February the 8th, 1962, at the Capitol Recording Studio located in Hollywood, California. And so that's where that comes from. What's interesting about that is that phrase, although the origin has been lost, has caused people to develop a limiting belief around work and what you can earn, which has caused scarcity type living.
Yes.
And that what I get is what I get, and I can't get no more. Because this is my lot in life. And we're here to break through those.
Yes.
And we'll talk about those too. But I want to give Coach a moment to give her her beginning statement so you guys can know what she has to say. And then we're going to get into limiting beliefs, what they are, and how to get rid of them. You somewhere in life, you have a limiting belief. And the worst thing about it is that you may not even be aware of it.
Right.
You're probably living out of your memory instead of your imagination. And we'll get to that in a minute.
Oh, boy.
You're living out of your memory instead of your imagination. And we'll get to that in a minute. Coach, what do you have?
Oh, my goodness. I believe that everybody has heard that saying, another day, another dollar. As a matter of fact, I would bet, if I was a betting person, but I would bet that someone that came into work one day, another day, another dollar. How does that sound? How does that sound to you to hear somebody go, Another day, another dollar. Well, I told PD, I remember one of those places where I was employed. Somebody said, another dollar?
Mm-hmm.
You getting a dollar?
Yeah.
I'm about at 50 cents. 50 cents.
Mm-hmm.
But we joke about it. But you know what? And I know I have laughed when people have said that. Another day, another dollar. But did you know your mind don't know you laugh? You think it's funny? That it's something humorous that we just say? Your mind doesn't know the difference.
That's good.
It doesn't know the difference. So here we go. Getting you
Now,
on that path.
getting you on that path so that
Mm-hmm.
you can understand these things, so that you can move on from
Yes.
where you are, and not just dream about something, but let's make it a reality. So if you're out there today and you're listening at all, just holler at us and say, hey, I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
Let us know that you're here, and just say hey, something like that. But let's go to it. So here's what it is. What is a limited belief? What is it?
Mm-hmm.
And everyone has different ones, but what is a limiting belief? So a limiting belief is a thought or state of mind
Mm-hmm.
that you think is the absolute truth, but stops you from doing certain things. Absolutely. Now, those beliefs don't always have to be about yourself either. It can be about different things. They could be about how the world works. They could be about ideas or how you interact with people. So let's take something for it. Let's say sales, for instance. So if a person is going to sales and they have this limiting belief that you have to be really arrogant to go into sales. The only way to get promoted is to give up having a life. You have to look out for number one if you want to get ahead. You can't trust anybody. If you win, I lose. Those are all limiting beliefs around that same thing. And limiting beliefs can change your life, but not always for the better. They create self-awareness that stops you from chasing your dreams, forming healthy relationships with people, and creating change in any area of your life. And having primarily negative beliefs puts boundaries and limitations on things in our lives and keeps us within our comfort zone. Mm-hmm. Now, you know what a genius is to me? A genius is someone who lives beyond their comfort zone and in a state of uncertainty all the time, because I'm pushing the envelope. If you're going to be a genius, or even regarded as a genius in your generation or the next generation, you're going to have to get comfortable with being uncertain, not knowing, being uncomfortable. That's what breaks you out of that. So my limiting belief can sometimes act as a defense mechanism, Coach.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And to protect myself from pain, which when I'm doing that, it justifies me having it. So my subconscious can remember past negative experiences and try to prevent myself from hurting myself again, which is actually what I don't need to do. I need to push past that. And that's what I meant by living out of your memory instead of your imagination.
Right.
So most of the time when the event is over, but the memory is still there. And since the memory is still there, because we normally forget the good times. We lay hold to all the bad times. We remember how much it hurt, how much it took from us,
wow,
how much we lost. We struggle with those things. And so instead of imagining a better day, what I do is I put borders and fences around protecting myself to make sure that day doesn't happen again.
That's right.
But it's limiting.
Yes.
Because those subconscious beliefs can lead to negative emotions like imposter syndrome, anxiety, and watch this, procrastination. Because I'm no longer living in the present, I'm protecting myself from something that might happen, but that never happen again. Coach, where do you think these limiting beliefs come from? Where do they come from?
Well, as you said, it comes from past experiences, and past experiences become our perspective.
Hmm.
And so, even in the present time, we dwell on the past experiences and close our mind to being to open to others.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say, for example, here's an example or more common example of limiting beliefs. I'm not good enough.
Mm.
I mean, I've said it.
Yep.
Um, children say it. And that comes from something in our past that we dwelled on and made it a perspective. And anything that doesn't seem that I can do it, I'm not good enough. Or even in the present, PD, we look at other people and we compare them to us, and we just go, I'm not good enough. I can't measure up to that.
Hmm.
You just told yourself you couldn't. You didn't even give yourself a chance. Because one thing about it, you definitely can learn. But you have to first open your mind to receive that training so you can be good enough.
Come on.
So you can be good enough. Now, let's go back to history. Maybe during the slavery times, because of the conditions that they lived under, that caused limiting beliefs. They bought into what the master said about them.
Yes.
And that passed on. And hear me on this one. That didn't just pass on to them. That went generations. It became a curse. Oh my goodness. I just got,
Yeah.
That became a curse, a family curse, until somebody in that lineage decided, what? No, I won't accept that. That's limiting beliefs.
And
Wow, PD.
and so okay. So I'm a little bit overwhelmed here in the moment. But this is what a limiting belief is. And so if you're listening, please listen to this. A limiting belief is a judgment.
There it is.
It's a determination about yourself that you think to be true.
Right.
And that actually is restricting you in some way.
Mm-hmm.
So how much of what's going on about you when you say I can't? Now those are words that you don't want to use anyway.
Mm-mm.
I'm not, I can't, I don't, I'll never. Those words. So you may have said, like you said, Coach, I'm not good enough. I'm too old or I'm too young.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not smart enough. I don't have enough experience. I'll never be successful. I don't have enough money.
Mm-hmm.
I'll never be one of the best. I'm not talented enough. I'll never be a great leader. And so here's something that can help you get over it. You may not have thought about this, but this is something that can help you get over it. You ought to be angry. I mean, a righteous indignation should rise up in you to the point that you say, I don't like being like this.
Really?
Because this is not right. I don't like the way my life is going. And you may not know how to change it yet. But there should be some sort of emotion that says, I got to get out of this today. Mm-hmm. I've got to start doing something today to get out of it because this is not working. I don't want my life to be like this. I'm tired of getting to the point where I've got more month than money.
Come on.
I'm tired of getting to the point to where I have more questions than answers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tired of getting to the point to where I don't know what to do.
Yep.
So if you deal with Maslow's hierarchy, you deal with that. The first level is survival.
Yes.
So his hierarchy of needs is what I was going
Yes.
to say. So it's survival. And so there are a lot of Christians that believe that unless there's a problem that lends itself to survival, it is on that level that I have to trust God. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So unless I'm in some sort of a quagmire where I don't know how to pay my rent, I don't know how I'm going to pay my mortgage, I don't know how I'm going to pay my car payment, don't know how I'm going to do this, don't know how I'm going to do this. Those are the things that God keeps in my life to keep my faith and build it strong. But that's not true. That's not true, because that would be torture and punishment, because you never grow from faith to faith. You never grow from glory to glory. And all you learn how to do is survive, and you never learn how to thrive. If God keeps me at the level of surviving, wondering where my daily needs are going to come from, if that's what I signed up for when I signed up to follow Jesus, I'm switching. I'm telling you now, I'm calling Farrakhan, whoever, because that's not it. That's not it. And listen, the Christian life is not about that. I want you to understand the Christian life is not about that. But if it's all about me getting closer to Jesus because I don't have any money, then how am I going to grow in my faith? How am I going to be able to help other people? How am I going to have meaningful impact in my life? How am I going to leave a legacy that lives generations beyond me? And I never have anything to give away. I can't keep anything to help anybody else. How do I progress if I'm always broke, if I'm always last, if I'm always complaining, if I'm always begging every single time? That ought to get old to you, because there's something that I need to learn about life.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have to throw away immediately that the idea that the more poorer you are, the more holy you are.
Oh my goodness.
Piety does not. So we think that poverty equals piety, and it does not. Now, if you are feeling what I'm saying, somebody say something out there. You got to say something. We got about 12 more minutes in this, but that's not it.
Mm-mm.
That is not it. And you ought to want to get away from that. So when you are, well, Coach, I want you to say something before we go into this next part, to tell us about how to even overcome those, because you have to start challenging your mind. You know, Jesus says, I want you to worship me.
Mm-hmm.
What do you say? Worship me with your heart,
mm-hmm.
your soul, all of your strength. But then in the New Testament, when before the new covenant came into force, the old covenant said your heart, your soul, your strength. Jesus adds your mind. Mm-hmm. That didn't say that with the Old Testament prophets. He adds your mind, because this is what you have to understand. God respects your cognitive ability, your ability to make decisions.
Yes.
He respects that. He wants you to use it. He wants you to recognize that. And because of the status quo, and maybe because someone will say that you're promoting a prosperity gospel. No. These same people, I want to tell these same people who are saying that if you try to get to another station in life, and that you're promoting the prosperity gospel, these same people live in $1 million homes.
Come on.
I want you to know that these same people have multi-million-dollar ministries.
Mm-hmm.
These same people are eating at 5- and 6-star restaurants. Don't get it twisted.
Come on.
Because they believe that somehow they have been selected by God to live that luxurious life. And because you haven't, don't just stay with the spiritual stuff. If God wants you to be there, he'll put you there. No, that's not it. It wasn't in the Garden of Eden. And so it shouldn't be here now. Everyone should have the right to live at whatever level they want to live at, so you can have enough to take care of yourself and help other people along the way. That's the goal.
Yes.
That is the goal. And you want to be able to do that. Let's go, Coach.
All right. Well, I'm going to just subtitle this as Be Limitless. Be limitless. So how do we do that? First of all, you've got to recognize and identify the limiting beliefs you have.
That's right.
You have to, if you sit down with yourself and be totally honest, what have you been saying that definitely identifies you having limiting beliefs? Write them down. Write them down. And then what you're going to do is say, okay, that was then, but this is now. So the next thing I encourage you to do is to either affirm or affirm differently from that limiting belief.
Come on. Okay.
So how do I do that? Well, let's take the example I said, I'm not good enough. If I'm going to use an affirmation, then I'm going to say, I am good enough. I am good enough, because whatever comes after I am becomes reality. Remember that. Now, if I want to affirm, maybe I want to affirm first by asking why. Why am I good enough?
Mm-hmm.
And your mind is designed to give you the answer. So all of a sudden you'll get things of what you're good at and what makes you good enough. So you can affirm first by asking why, and then you can affirm by saying, I am good enough. I have gifts, talents, and strengths. And you can even say what they are. So you identify your limiting belief, and then you're going to renew your mind by affirming or affirming. Okay, there we go.
So along with what Coach KG is saying, which is really important, and this is what we're going to be talking about in this challenge. One of the things that we're dealing with is we are breaking mental blocks. Particularly, this is why it's the sacred CEO. We are breaking mental blocks that people have had as believers. Now, you can't have an abundant life with an abundant lack mentality. So Jesus came that you might have life more abundantly, not more abundant lack. He died for you to have abundant life, not abundant lack. And there's nothing wrong. Now, there is a sense of greed that can come in, but you don't have to worry about that, because it's like when people say, and I'll just go ahead and say this, I'll let this cat out the bag, Coach. I'm gonna let this cat out the bag.
All right.
People say, man, I don't want anything to do with those preachers because they preach for money. Now, let me tell you something. After 24 years of preaching, and I'm working on number 25 right now. After 24 years of preaching, if preaching was about making money, I'm the dumbest dude in the world, because I stayed with something for 24 years that has not yielded any money at all, really.
Come on.
If you take the thousands of messages that I preached over the last 24 years and you just divided it up, I probably basically got $10 a message. And while I got $10 a message, and so our mindset is just bad about money, period. It's just bad about money.
Mm-hmm.
So about $10 a message, people have been healed. Marriages have been restored. People who are on their deathbeds have been raised. These are things I've seen with my eyes. People, and this is number one, they've been given salvation. They received the salvation from the Lord, which is the greatest thing. And so this is the idea that I'm doing this for money. I think that God sometimes will limit the money that you get to purify your motivations.
Come on.
And so we've been through that. Now that our motivations are pure, now that we're only concerned about doing his will, hey, Ashley, and all those different things, now we can go get some stuff for the kingdom.
Yes.
Now, and man, coach, this is almost make, the next time we do the challenge, I may even have to change the name of it because I'm sensing something else now.
All right now.
Most people, when they get ready to do stuff for the kingdom, they think of going to church.
Yep.
Checking your name on a box and saying, I did something for the kingdom. That's for your personal enrichment. And this is why I'm focusing on the marketplace, because people can do things in the marketplace to change the world. Now, am I throwing everything else out? No, I'm not throwing that out. But you need to be you're at your job for a certain reason.
Yep.
You have a business idea for a certain reason. You have a business for a certain reason. You're not just there just to say I have a business. You're supposed to be making impact. Now, don't get confused the world versus your world. So you have a sphere of influence
that
you are supposed to affect. And that world is just as important as the world. Now, I don't know if my sphere of influence will affect the world at large. If it does, thank God.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we don't have control over. I can't get behind a computer right now and make sure the algorithm, make sure I have 1 million hits the next day. I don't know if I'll ever be able to affect the world, but I do have a responsibility to release the kingdom to my world.
Come on.
The sphere of influence that God has given me.
Yes.
And so this is why it's so important that you have some money. This is why it was so important that Abraham went down into Abimelech's household. He came out rotten rich. You cannot be broke, flat, on your back, sick, and change the world. We're not saying you have to be the richest person in the world, but you need to understand that there are needs that need to be met in the world. Money is a tool to meet those needs so that you can affect generations. And what we're doing in this challenge, and we haven't even talked about it, but what we're doing in this challenge today is, I want to go ahead and show you, because we're just so hyped up about.
We are.
We're just hyped. This is why we haven't even mentioned it yet. But what we're doing in this challenge is how stuff really works. You can consider this challenge like Neo being awakened from the Matrix. You can consider where you're taken out of that pod. A world has been given to you in one way. Here we are, having been popped out of the Matrix. We know what's going on, and we see you as Neos called to have influence in your world. Some of you will affect the world. How stuff really works. The missing ingredients to achieving massive success. It's a 5-day challenge, March 13th through March 17th, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. You need to get in there, because in this challenge, we are going to wake you up, show you what the world really is, show you what's really going on, and then give you the tools to go in and change your world. You will get rid of your limiting beliefs. You will get rid of procrastination. You will get rid of imposter syndrome. You will get rid of your terror barrier, how to crush through that every single time. This is what you will get.
Yes.
And if you're tired on whatever level, I just want to see some hands. If you're tired of living beneath the privilege that God has called you to be an ambassador to his kingdom, to the world. If you're tired of living beneath that, would you just raise your hand? Give me a hand raised emoji right now. Come on.
I see Leilani out there. I see Martha and Ashley and LaWanda.
Yep.
Yes. I am so glad to see all of you. Now, I would love to see those hands raised, because this is it. PD and I are totally passionate about seeing God's people truly living the life that he wanted us to live and do the work that he's called us to do. He's equipped all of us with talents, gifts, and strengths. And it is time. It's actually overtime. It's time to get where you need to be, do what you were designed to do. We even tell you and help you understand that desire is not a bad word.
It's not a bad
Come
word.
on. You have desires. You know what it is that you want, what you want to do, where you want to be, who you may want to be with, and what legacy you want to leave. You know that. But for some reason, you hold back because you think it's wrong to have desires. So we talk to you about that.
And so for the can I just put the ladies in here ladies, all the ladies want a man to express desire for you. I just want to know if you want me. That's it. That's what I want to know. And so there have been things that have been put in place. We're going to talk to you about this. There have been things that have been put in place to ensure that you never aspire to anything. There were beliefs that were put down to make sure you never aspire to anything, or to make sure that you believe this is not for you. But everybody can have impact. And what I want you to do today is I want you just to take a leap, just one leap. And I want you to go to the website here, www.thesacredceoexp.com/how stuff really works. And I want you to register today. It's $97 for general admission. It's $197 for VIP. And if you choose VIP, you get to ask your burning questions. The things, if you got questions about money, if you got questions about desire, if you've got questions about your business, if you've got questions about, man, I think this, but I don't really want anybody to know I think this, but how do I get rid of this, right? How do I get rid of this? So you may want to do that. And for an hour, we take your burning questions and we answer them to the best of our ability. And then we go on to the general session. So everyone, when you sign up, immediately you get a gift. Mm-hmm. You get a gift that's going to coincide with what you're doing. So you've got today, you've got tomorrow, and you've got until 12 p.m. on Monday to make it happen. We're doing it all the way until 12 p.m. And so that, and when we say 12 p.m., we're talking about noon. We're not talking about night. That's 12 a.m. Just want to make sure y'all know that. So get mixed up here.
And
so
that's Central Time.
That's Central Time. So that would be 10 a.m. for West Coast, and then that would be 1 p.m. for the East Coast. And so we're looking, and God has just graced us with a little bit of foresight to be able to see what is on the horizon, that he's sending, like he sent Joseph into the world, the marketplace. And so in a sense, Coach, it's time for believers to come out of hiding. Even if you've got a corporate job right now, it's time for you to start doing some things, and we're going to teach you how to do that. I just want to see how many are motivated. I know that Ashley says she feels very unmotivated. We got you. Let me tell you something real quick before I do this too. Let me tell you something about motivation. Motivation is all you. It's internal. But if you've ever lit the pilot light for a water heater, you know, you've had to get maybe a piece of newspaper and make it really long and then light it. And then, you know, the apparatus is already there. So we bring inspiration to your motivation. So I want you to understand you already have motivation. You already have it. It just needs to be lit sometimes by inspiration.
Yes.
Okay. So who's going to join this challenge? I want you to make that decision today. I want you to make the decision to invest in yourself today. Spend 5 days. Now, what if you're at work? It'll be there for 24 hours. As soon as you get off work, it'll be there until the next day, right before 12 p.m., and you can watch it. You can sit yourself down, because this isn't one of those things where we're telling you, okay, we're going to teach you something, but we're really selling you something the whole time. No, we're going to teach you how to get out of your own way, how to start living life on the level that God told you to live. This sorry, we just making it as we can. No. That's not what Christ died and paid for. Mm-mm. We're raising champions and winners here. That's right. That's what we're doing. And so I want you to do that today. And if you're going to do that, just don't be bold about it. Just raise your hand. I'm going to go to the website today to make sure that I'm in that challenge. You'll receive all of your instructions. You'll get the invitation to the group. Okay. You just go ahead and you get in there. Coach, you had something?
I'm just encouraging them to do it. Just do it, like Nike says. And this is not hype.
No.
I have been to many.
Although I am hype, but yeah, just.
Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
We're not hype falsely. All right.
Right.
We're hyped because we have within us and between us over 60 years of experience. And we are just down to the bare bones to share with you. No fluff, down to the bare bones. People are seeing changes. We've got testimonies from the last one. So this is the hype is because we're passionate that we want to see people changed. But it's no hype that, oh yeah, you're just trying to get money from us. No. But I do know you cannot, as PD say, freebie your way to success. You can't.
No.
And if you've been freebieing all this time and you still at where you are, then something needs to change. Something needs to change. So come and join us.
Come and join us. We hope to see you on the inside. I know many people are like, man, what could they be saying that I don't already know? Well, it could. There's quite a bit, but what we want you to have is those great aha moments.
Yes.
Those great aha moments. If you have any questions, you can inbox us from that time until now. We're actually coming back tonight at 7 p.m.
Yep.
We're going to be talking about something else and we may be talking about this crazy thinking that, because I'm ready to call it crazy. It's insane, Coach. It's insane for a believer to believe that they have to be poor in order to be holy. It's an insane belief. And we may work on that here in a few hours, but that is all.
You know what, PD?
Yeah.
You know what you forgot to tell them?
What?
Nothing we shared today is what we're going to share in the challenge.
Oh, yes, true. Yeah.
This is totally PD and I on the cuff come in and share some good nuggets with you. But this is not what's in the challenge.
Yeah, and it's stuff that we've learned over time.
Mm-hmm.
It's stuff that we've learned over time that at some time or another we had to get over.
Yes.
We had to get over. So this is and when you're talking about overcoming those things don't come easy all the time. But we know it. So we want you to do that. Whatever you have to do. Why are we pushing this so hard? Because we know that it works. We know that it works. So catch us 7 p.m. tonight. Because here, I'm gonna say something that I'm not supposed to say.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna say. So everything that we're doing in these previews, we want to teach you something. But if you just did the research, you could find this stuff on the net. But what we discovered when we came down to when we looked at all that we read, when we looked at all that we've experienced, when we looked at everything that we've learned over the years, and we put all of that out there, we said, okay, what are the 5 things? And I think it was like 8 at first, but we're like, that's too many.
Mm-hmm.
But what are the 5 things that have been consistent out of every book that we've read? Now, here's the thing. You already know what they are because they're right there on the website. Mm-hmm. They're right there on the website. It's definite desire, vital vision, significant sacrifice, a prophetic plan, and effective execution. We have learned that those 5 things is what carried Napoleon Hill, Earl Nightingale, Tony Robbins, Eric Thomas, you name Myron Golden, Les Brown. Those 5 things carried them to the success that they have today. Let me name them again. It's definite desire, vital vision, significant sacrifice, a prophetic plan, and effective execution. When they learned to master those 5 things and put them in their proper place, things begin to accelerate for them. That's what we're going to teach you. So if you're wondering, what is it? Those are the 5 things. And we're going to show you the ins and outs of those things and then go from there. So we want to see you in there. And we're hoping that you will make that choice today. Okay. All right. Well, Coach,
all right.
I guess I will see you back here in a few hours as we go at it again and get ready. Yeah, we'll get ready for another round of this. For those of you who are thinking about doing this, make that decision today, and we'll see you soon. Blessings.
Empowered blessings.